Good day. So a new X-Wing game coming out. Hooray!
Who cares?
It's being made by EA. Boo.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I just like the launch trailer so very, very much.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know. It's like everything that I want from an X-Wing / TIE fighter launch.
No,
trailer?
it should be nothing that you want from a launch trailer. There's no gameplay. You want
No. Look, man.
How can everything you want in a game trailer have no gameplay?
Because
that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It's the heart and the soul of it. I want them to understand what this is about. And it's about X-Wings, and it's about TIE fighters, and it's about blowing stuff up, and Star Destroyers doing cool stuff. That's what it is.
Given. That's a given.
It is not a given.
It should be a given in a TIE fighter X-Wing squadron game.
They could have totally screwed it up and been like, we're going to set this 800 years in the future, and none of the ships that you recognize are here. They could have easily done that.
Right, and that would just... that would barely make it a Star Wars game.
The bar is so low, you don't understand. There has not been one of these since 1999, dude. X-Wing Alliance, 1999, a game that I own. But it's old, and it's awesome, and there has not been another straight-up like X-Wing TIE Fighter sim combat style thing at all. There's been stuff tacked on to other games. There's been like Rogue Squadron for the N64, but like that's it, man. I'm just saying, I want it, and I totally understand there is no gameplay shown. Therefore, this could easily just be some kind of garbage. Like, all right, here's your X-Wing. You can go up, down, left, and right, and then shoot stuff. And that's all you have. I want the ability to change power configurations. I want to change weapons loadouts. I want to be able to communicate with like AI teammates. I just want all the stuff that I had back 20 friggin' years ago.
None of that was shown in the trailer.
I know.
Right? You could be like, I'm so excited for this game, and it's going to be a turn-based tactics deck builder. You don't know anything about the game yet. Other than the fact it has TIE fighters and X-Wings and Star Destroyers. Okay?
Yes. And Y-Wings and A-Wings and TIE bombers.
Sure.
And TIE interceptors.
What if they let you fly that really cool ship from The Last Jedi, where you have to fly over your target and drop unpowered bombs or whatever on top of the ships?
The terrible Rian Johnson inspired by World War II bombers ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be fine with that, right?
I'm pretty sure that's been scrubbed from all of Star Wars canon entirely. I'd be shocked if that ever showed up in anything, any comics, any TV shows, anything ever again. I'd be shocked. It is the worst concept for a space thing I've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
You have to literally fly over your target within 47 feet. You will get blasted to hell. But by golly, you'll take your target down. Way to go. Freaking suicide bombers in space.
What if that is all the bombing? Like, that's the only type of bombing you can do. Like, you don't have any, like, torpedoes or anything anymore. It's just that kind of bombing. Because they want to be consistent with the new narratives of the most recent trilogy.
No, these were built to be this. If you're... Okay. How about this? There's an option here where they repurposed these. Like, these were, like, mining vessels, right? They're just intended to go up to an asteroid and take stuff. And they just filled them with, like, bombs they had laying around.
Right. Yeah, no. I was literally thinking about this in the shower yesterday, where it's like, that scene would have been much better if it was like, oh, look, it's the plucky underdog rebels repurposing, like, mining tech. And all they have is, like, these explosives used for mining. And they're not guided or powered in any way, so you've literally got to drop them, right?
Okay, if that's it, then yes.
Then I'm on board.
Fine.
But we're not shown any of that.
I mean, I don't want ever to fly anything like that in a video game.
But you might.
But I'm just saying, I guess it makes more sense in world if potentially that's what was going on. So I never actually considered that before.
But it could be what the game's going to be.
No. I mean, sure. Yes. Anyway, the point is... I realize it could
will they
be
let
horrible.
you do a holdo maneuver?
Probably not. I think that's been removed from the canon as well.
That's unfortunate.
Is it though? It breaks everything. The holdo maneuver breaks everything about space combat. We've talked about it extensively. There's just no way. There's just no way. There's no way you can allow it to exist within the Star Wars universe. So Rian Johnson, who doesn't understand Star Wars at all, Thanks for ruining things. Way to go.
But you're excited about the game. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, the other problem is it's $40, which indicates it's not going to be close to what I want it to be, and it's more just going to be like a multiplayer 5-on-5 dogfight, and whoever's the last team standing wins kind of a thing, which I'm not really interested in.
Is it $40?
Yeah, well, in US, it's probably like $170 there.
Let me have a look. It's on Steam, yeah?
I don't know. They just said PC, Xbox, PlayStation 5 with crossplay and VR support on the PlayStation and PC.
I thought I saw a thing for it on... Yeah, there we go. It's on Steam already.
Is there a Steam pre-order?
Yeah, it's $49.
Well, there you go. That makes sense.
Let's see. It should say if there's a... It's got a... No, it says it's single player. It doesn't say it has a single player.
Yeah, I mean that... Yeah. Here's the thing. X-Wing versus TIE Fighter does not have a campaign, right? You are not a character. There's no story. It's like, here's a series of missions. Go blow this stuff up. Go do this. Here's a secondary objective you can do. And then come back and we'll give you a score. Like, nothing about it is like, and now you're a Jedi. It's just, they don't care. So even if that's all it is for this thing, like, it's just, that's all I want. I just literally want to fly out there and take down a Star Destroyer or beat a Corellian cruiser or, you know, dogfight, take out some TIE bombers that are on their way to take out a base or whatever. That's all I want. I don't need a campaign. I just want a series of missions, and I just want the granularity that we had in 1998 with this stuff, where I can be like, crap, I need to catch up to this thing. I'm going to sacrifice weapons power for some speed here, or I need to boost my shields. We're really close to the Star Destroyer, so I'm going to boost the shields and get rid of some engine power. Like, that's just stuff that I want, and it shouldn't be hard to do, but I just don't think they're going to give it to us. That's all. What's it called again?
Star Wars Squadrons EA.
I just keep calling it the X-Wing thing.
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Not even that, because that's already a game. Anyway, yes. There's no gameplay at all. 0% gameplay. Understood. But they are planning on actually showing some gameplay. They've scheduled that for 2 days from now. So
I think this might be a mobile.
You don't know. Stop.
Pilots who enlist will step into the cockpits of starfighters from both the New Republic and Imperial fleets and engage in strategic 5v5 space battles.
I mean,
that's what the gameplay is. It's 5v5 battles.
I know. I already said that. I understand that's definitely at least part of what it is. I'm not sure it's the whole thing, but yeah.
I mean, I literally can't find anything else that describes the gameplay in the description about this game.
I don't think they were planning on releasing the trailer when they did, but then did you see that thing where it was like available on some online game service for like 45 minutes?
Really? No.
Yeah, there was was it Stadia? It was something. It showed up in everybody's store for like 45 minutes. I'm like, what is this? Because it hadn't even been announced yet, right?
Okay.
And then it went away, and then like 2 days later they released the trailer. Like, I think their hand was forced a little bit. I don't know. But like, they're planning on putting it out in October. So I mean, they can't be at a point where like, we're not sure exactly what this is going to be yet, because that's not enough time.
Right. I have a thing that I think you'll like.
Oh, no.
Under key features, Master Legendary Starfighters take control of different classes of Starfighter from both New Republic and Imperial fleets, including the Agile A-Wing, the devastating TIE Bomber. Modify your ship, divert power between its systems.
Hooray!
And destroy opponents in strategic space dogfights.
Okay, that's like 30% of the battle right there. I'll take it.
Yeah. There you go.
Good.
You can divert power between systems.
Perfection.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. There. Oh, okay. There is going to be a unique single-player Star Wars story, which covers a key campaign near the conclusion of the Galactic Civil War. I mean, I imagine that's going to be about 2.5 hours, but whatever. I wish it was more, but it's okay, I guess, is what I'm saying if it's not.
Okay.
So, all right. They're just hiding it at, like, the very bottom of the page is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of cosmetics and stuff, I'm sure. Like, I'm not interested in laddering with this stuff. I don't want to hop in here and fight against humans and try to climb any ranking system. I just don't care. I want to play against robots. Mm-hmm. And if I want to bring some friends along, I want to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about ladder is all I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know. That's the thing. The bar is so low. Again, they did this in 1998. So the things that I want were doable in 1998. It's 2020 now. I just think they can give this to us. And I am dreading trying to figure out the ways that they totally screw this up.
Well, knowing that it's EA, I'm sure whatever they do, it will fill you with a sense of accomplishment.
I sure hope so. That's what they promise.
Yeah.
You know. Also, okay, one more thing. I have one more thing on my list of demands.
Okay.
The Y-Wings. I just want to... Can we just use them correctly? Like, I haven't seen a Y-Wing used correctly in a Star Wars anything for a long time. For some reason, everybody insists on making them close-range fighters. They're slow, and they're not maneuverable, and they don't have very good guns. What they're supposed to do is sit back 4 kilometers away from the enemy ship and just bombard it with 18 Photon torpedoes. That's the whole plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want the X-Wing to do that. I don't need it dogfighting. I don't need it cruising around close to everything. Just sit back, launch stuff, and then maybe defend yourself against some enemy TIE fighters that are coming in to kill it. But I don't need it to be up close quarters with everything that it's trying to kill, because that's not the point. That's all. That's all I want.
I'm looking at some of the images it's got. And
which is
for
all from the trailer.
Right. But there's 2 scenes, like one of the Imperials, one of the Rebels, whatever, of their ships in hangar. They're all just like sat there on the tarmac or whatever.
That's what I'm looking at.
They keep claiming that it's a 5v5 game, but they only ever show 4 different ships.
Right.
So someone's got to double up on something.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, they have more. Like, feasibly, they could give the Alliance a B-Wing, which is... The problem is it's basically another bomber-type class. It's just like the Y-Wing.
Right.
And for the Empire, they could give them, like, a TIE Advance is missing from what we're seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
But that, like... Lore-wise, that's like Darth Vader's personal ship, and it has like good shields and stuff, and it's way better than everything else. But I'm just saying they could.
I understand.
They can pull from existing ship designs.
Right. No, I understand.
Okay.
I just thought it was a little strange that they weren't like, it's 5v5. Here's 5 different ships.
It's a good point. No. Here's 4.
Maybe they just like the way it sits better in frame to spread them out like that rather than 5.
I'm sure it is.
Maybe.
I do like that you can be different races as pilots, at least on the Alliance side, because the Empires are racists.
Sure. I assume that'll have 0 impact in gameplay.
Yeah. But just the fact that you can choose it, and that's what shows up in your specific cutscenes or whatever, is kind of nice.
Cool.
Anyway, I'm excited for it. It's, again, it'll disappoint me in large ways. But gosh dang, if I'm not watching this trailer like 8 times a day.
Okay.
I don't know. It's weird, right? Like, how can a trailer be so much better than the finished game? I know it's easier to make a trailer than it is to complete an entire video game. I get that. But, like, the person who directed this trailer gets it. Like, they understand what this needs to be. And I just let them also be over the design of the game. They get what's going on here. Different jobs. I don't know.
Yeah, different jobs. Like, yeah. So a cinematographer understands what emotions they need to invoke in the desired targets, i.e., you, right?
Yep.
But doing that on film and doing that mechanically are 2 different things.
Yeah, very different things.
Yeah.
True fact. Anyway, that's good stuff. Here's the thing. I can't really bring myself to pre-order it. Like, I'm 99.9% at the stage where it's like, I'm going to get this thing, but I can't, like, my mouse will not hover over the add to cart button. It just won't go there. I don't know why.
Smart. Don't
like,
pre-order
what's
it.
going to change between now and October 2nd that's going to make me regret it, you know?
You'll find out that it's a tactics game. Turn-based tactics. Right.
It's just Civ. It's just Civ 6. Star Wars.
Yeah.
That would be great. They do have some Star Wars games like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. They already have those.
Right, but they don't have any that are specifically around squad-based tactics of starships and space fighters.
I think they do.
Do they have a modern one that looks pretty that will sell them a ton of loot boxes?
Yes.
Really?
I think so. I keep seeing people putting up gameplay footage from, what is it? God, the list of Star Wars video games is like 8 billion things. Fewer now than in the old days, but still. Let me see if I can find this thing. I forget what it's called. I've never played it, but it's very much like here's a big overall Star Wars battle over a planet, and you've got 4 Star Destroyers, and they've got their Corvettes, and your light fighters are attacking each other.
Revenge of the Sith.
I don't think so. Is it Empire at War? Real-time strategy game, 2006. That might... I don't know. Somebody who's listening knows what I'm talking about. But I've seen people...
I mean, Empire War is an RTS.
Mm-hmm.
Not a squad-based tactics game. So I'm thinking like XCOM here. Not an RTS.
Okay. So you're thinking smaller scale, turn-based. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
so no, I don't think there's one of those then in that case.
You can still do that large scale, like a cooperative squad-based thing. That would be fun, right? Where everyone gets their own X-wing or whatever, and you have to coordinate with your team on what to do. That could still be a good game. I doubt this is where that's going, but it could be.
Right.
I would be very surprised if this wasn't like a first-person action game.
Well, it's VR. Like, if you're talking about VR, it's going to be a first-person experience.
Could be, yeah.
Quite possibly.
VR turn-based games. Where you just like, alright, now I get to sit here, and then I get to move my pieces later. There's no changing the camera. There's no physical manipulation of anything. I'm just in the cockpit.
Perfect. All right. So that's that. Who knows what they'll announce in 2 days or what they'll show us in 2 days.
True facts.
Probably tweet about it. Whatevs.
Sure. By
the time you hear this, you'll already have seen it. So ta-da.
Also true.
Yes. So I saw that your D&D sessions are going well, at least based on what you tweeted out yesterday.
Yeah. Well, they're back. That's the important thing.
That is important.
Mm-hmm. After 3-ish months of not playing, I had entirely forgotten everything.
You didn't have stuff written down?
I had some stuff written down, and I'm playing from a module, so I just like read through that again. But it was more like the specifics of what I had intended to happen next, because what had happened was the party had like split up in a town, and one of them had climbed in through like a second story window to investigate a thing, and found like 5 vampires. When like 2 sessions ago, one nearly killed all of them, and so then that was like, that's all right, we'll pick it up next week, and then next week was 4 months later.
Wow, well, that's a cliffhanger right there.
Yeah.
So did everybody die?
No, but one person nearly died. He made the mistake of standing next to the enemy when our mage used a spell called Ice Knife, which does explosive like radius damage. So he killed his teammate, knocked him unconscious, and then he failed a death saving throw critically. So,
wow, what did he roll?
A 1. That's a crit fail.
Is that literally okay? So it can't ever be anything else. Like a critical roll for fail is always a 1.
Yeah. So crit roll is 1, and a crit success is always 20.
All right.
Well, generally, like barbarians can do a thing where they get a rage or something, and then in that they can also crit success on a 19.
Got it.
So it can sometimes be 19 and 18, depending on how many times you can stack it. But death saving throws, you need to either pass 3 or fail 3 to live or die. And so it's just a d20, roll 10 or higher, you succeed. Roll a 1, you fail twice.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
so
sense.
he was one bad roll away from dying. Yeah.
But in the end,
he lived. Yeah.
Great success.
Yes.
Nice. That's good. It's good to start off your returned to D&D with a great success.
Then the bard discovered that she's a bard, and bards sleep with everything.
Sure, they sure do. Wait, she discovered she's a bard?
Well, no, she realized what being a bard meant.
Oh, okay.
Having that high
chose
charisma.
Bard, not knowing what's going on.
She then proceeded to sleep with not one, but two vendors in order to gain free thread and a needle to sew her bagpipes back together after she bashed in a 16-year-old kid's head when he refused to sleep with her. Yeah, that was...
Jeez.
Like, she wanted to get information out of him and was looking to trade. He was not interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
Disturbing. All right.
It was an eventful day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Glad it was a good time for everybody. Sounds like.
Everyone had fun.
Excellent. Excellent news. Oh, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I hung up my flag.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hold up. Let me send you the picture.
Thank you. Has anyone questioned you on it yet?
No, I don't talk to my neighbors. What's wrong with you?
What about like your kids?
They haven't been here for the last few days. They like perfectly corresponded with them being away at their moms.
Excellent.
It's too big for the window. Like, it's kind of hanging off the edge on the inside there a little bit.
Need a flagpole.
I know, right? Wait, no.
Or just like get a ladder out and then like hang it from one of the alcoves there from the roof.
Oh, could do, but then it'd be outside. Are there rules for like leaving flags outside for Australian flags?
I have no idea.
Right, because like American flags, you're not supposed to leave them out after dark or if there's inclement weather.
It's a lot of effort for a piece of cloth.
Yes, it certainly is.
I don't
have one.
I also remember the American flag has a bunch of rules on how to like dispose of it. You've got to like cut out the stars, not the stars, the stars, and then fold up the rest, and then place the stars on top, and then bury it.
How are you gonna burn it?
Something like that as well. Yes. There's a bunch of rules that I remember vaguely.
Properly dispose of an American flag.
Oh wait, no. It's the Bible you bury.
Burn it.
It's the Bible you bury. My apologies.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So this countryliving.com website says, fold the flag in its customary triangle manner. Okay, I learned how to do that one as a Boy Scout. Prepare a fire large enough to burn the flag completely. Place the flag in the fire, and while it burns, witnesses should recite the Pledge of Allegiance or salute.
Wow.
All right, there you go. Serious business, man.
That is way too much for a piece of cloth.
I don't know where you got the cut the stars out concept.
From a podcast I listened to like 7 years ago.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's it. Losing bets, man. It's not good for me.
Yep. Don't do it.
Don't do it. So another StarCraft news. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there's more GSL now.
Yeah. Also, Sterile won TSL 5.
Cool.
So Zergs are still dominant. There was a bit of a situation there where it felt like maybe the era of Zerg was over, but that's not true.
Not even remotely.
They're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Sterile is anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it was a final ZVZ, so... TY ended up winning the GSL, 4-0 Cure.
You know what? I said in the podcast, like, oh man, it's going to be real sad. Was it the podcast or was it on stream? I don't remember. But I just offhandedly made like, I was like, oh man, it's going to be real sad when Cure gets bopped by TY.
Yes.
Like, I think
I agreed with you. It was, yes, you were very correct about that.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened. So good job, Cure. He made it to his first GSL finals. I think, it's a stepping stone. I don't think he's done.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
Could be done. Anyway, we've got GSL Season 2. Groups are set. They're going to be played over the next 6 months because that's how GSL rolls. You're going to roll from June 19th to July 8th to get through the group stages. It's so slow.
Not even the group stages, just group stage 1.
Yeah, sorry. Then there's group stage 2, which is another 4 weeks. And then the playoffs, which are another week. So, yep, GSL, man. It's good times. So, who's here? Styro's not here, so I don't actually care. So that's a rule, right? You have to be living in Korea to be playing GSL.
Yeah, I think you have to have lived there for at least a month.
Yeah. I can't find that anywhere. Somebody asked, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the case, but I wanted to find a source. I can't, Wikipedia for GSL doesn't say anything about the requirements for playing in the tournament that I could find.
Interesting.
I know, right? You'd think they'd be upfront about it. Like, maybe they're worried that people will get mad if they know. But, if you watch it, whatever, it's fine. It's fine. So, yeah, Serral's not here. I don't really care. It turns out only Serral is the important player here in StarCraft since he won TSL.
Okay. Okay.
Anywho, the players that are here, let's see, who are the big names? Zestin Su, Darken Stats. Stats won the Africa World 60 the other day. That was pretty good.
Ooh. Cool.
Darken Stats, Solar, Rogue. Taja's playing pretty well. Don Regu's not doing too bad. Obviously. I mean, look, if you're in these group stages for GSL, you're doing okay for yourself. Maru, Scarlet, Trap, Patience, and Bunny. So, decent numbers.
Sorry, I'm now looking up to see if I can find specifics on the region lock and how it works.
I know, right? I probably spent 10 minutes just searching Team Liquid specifically, looking for anything that would talk about this, and I couldn't find anything.
Because the wording of the region lock, I vaguely remember finding it at one point, might be worded the other way around, where technically the rest of the world is locked out of Korea. It's like if you want to play in what was WCS events, you had to live in a WCS qualifying country for at least a month, and every country qualified except for Korea. So if you lived in Korea, you just couldn't play in other events. I think that might have been how it worked. And so anyone can go to GSL, but because GSL is spread out over so long, you have to be there the entire time for it. It disqualifies you from other events.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Another reason why GSL goes for so long.
Yeah. Because it's got to cover the entire, WCS ESL season.
Yeah. And to lock players out of other things. So what groups do you like?
So here's the thing. I would really, really like to see both Tasia and Onregu do well here. Just because, again, we talk about this so much. The players that go to military and come back rarely achieve the level of play they had before they left, if they're elite, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I'd love to see Tasia do some awesome things. Same with Dongregu do some awesome things. Dongregu was up 2-0 on Cure at the Africa World. And then he got reverse swept. Just lost 3 games in a row to Cure. It was rough. He was looking really good for about 20 minutes.
Okay, so Group C and D. Tasia's got to probably play Rogue or Solo.
I know. That's
He's got
rough
Rogue
stuff.
first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And Solar took a map off innovation at Home Story. So,
Well, I hope Tasia brings more than one build this time.
It'd be nice. You'd think he'd have time to learn another one.
Because he did the same thing versus Parting 3 times in a row, didn't he? Where it's just I'm going to put 2 racks on the other side of the map. I hope you die. and then they didn't.
It's it turns out, if players know you're doing that, it's harder to kill them.
Yep.
Element of surprise. Interested to see if Scarlet decides to show up. It's been a while.
Frankly, I think she's got the group for it. Other than Maru, she can easily take whoever Prince is and Armani.
And Armani, for sure. Yeah, who the heck is Prince? Tell me you're 14. That's why I haven't heard of you yet.
No birthday given.
He's probably 14.
Maybe.
It says he only joined a team in February of this year for the first time. He does have some 2018 results, though.
It's true. Which is interesting.
2017 results. Okay, so he can't be that young, I guess is what I'm saying.
I mean, he could be 17. Maru was playing StarCraft 2 when he was 12.
Yeah, he sure could be.
I think it's interesting.
Figure that out for us.
Yeah. In his history, he's got 3 different team changes, all within like the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Black Knight, Archangel, Team GP.
Yeah, from February to now.
Yeah.
He's been on 3 different teams. Anyway, he could be scary. Guess we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out.
Mm-hmm. Group F is like, Trap Patience, Bunny, Ragnarok. It's okay.
Yeah.
None of those names strike any fear into my heart at all. Not in a GSL situation.
No, not particularly.
Probably the weakest group.
Yeah, maybe. Trap's kind of like on the edge of being really good, I feel.
He is. He's been there a while. He has good wins from time to time, but just never really strung it together.
Yeah. But probably the weakest group overall. Cool.
Man, stats just look so good at the Africa. He played a best of 5 PVT, and then a best of 7 PVT, and just did the same thing in every game.
And won?
Yeah. And these are, like, this was Bunny and this was Cure. They just couldn't figure out how to deal with it. It was amazing. So he just got all the things, right? He opens up Blink Stalkers. He gets some Colossus out. He transitions into Storm and Archons and Disruptors with a bunch of charge lots. And then just beautiful Disruptor control. Storms anything that gets too close. The Terrans were just completely at a loss of how to do that.
Okay.
So I don't know. It looked good. Like, it looked more terrifying as stats than I've seen in a while. So I don't know. Maybe he's feeling good.
This is PVT?
Yeah, this is PVT.
Cool. Good thing he's matched up with so many Terrans in his group.
I know, right? Yeah. I'm curious to see what he does against Dark, though.
True.
That'll be some good stuff.
Who does he play first? He plays Impact. Okay.
Yeah, he should be fine. Little warm-up against Impact there.
Yeah.
Group A is kind of rough with Zest Special and Sue in there. Like, that's... Poor Zaun. Bad times, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I don't know. What group do you think is the tough one here?
I mean, probably Group A, right? Like, just on sheer number of good players. Like, I generally, when I look at these, I go, okay, how many good, how many bad? It's like, well, Dark and Stats are good. Australia and Impact, yeah. Right? So it's too good, too bad. And, like, that's generally how it balances out. Solar and Rogue, Super and Tasia, 2 for 2. And then you've got SOS and Deer, Don Rhaegar, Dream, Maru and Scarlet, Prince and Armani. But Group A has Zest Special and Sue, so that's 3 and 1.
Yeah.
For established names, yeah.
So probably that one then.
Probably that one.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Far enough. So yeah, should be good. Going to be on the YouTube. Numbers on there have been really good recently. We talked about that already. 3 days from now? Yeah, 3 days from now, Group A will start.
Yep.
Très bien. Very good stuff. What else is happening? Did I...
Has Last of Us 2 come out yet?
No. It's like 3 more days.
You had something a moment ago?
Yeah. So I listened to a podcast that was talking about the movie Step Brothers with John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell.
Sure.
And they were talking about it and just like they really loved it a lot. And they said it was a classic comedy. I was like, I've never actually seen that. It didn't seem interesting to me at the time and never watched it since. I was like, I'll give it a try. So here's the thing. They talked about in the podcast how it's a very tight hour and like 28 minutes movie. It's not overly long. All the scenes are good. All the scenes are compact. There's not a lot of like boring stuff going on. But apparently there's a lot of deleted stuff that is. Yeah.
I Googled it and it's got like a 55 on Rotten Tomatoes. So you gotta.
Does it really?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that user or audience score is 69, its manometer is 55. Step Brothers.
Interesting. I didn't realize it was that poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so I was like, whatever. I have some time tonight. I'll go ahead and watch it. So I found an unrated version, an extended version on Amazon Prime, for like $2 to rent. So I watch it, and it's 2 hours long. So it's obviously including a lot of stuff that was left on the cutting room floor for the theatrical release.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is watching this, not knowing beforehand, I could tell which scenes were deleted scenes. Based on the fact it was like, what is this? It is going on too long. It feels really awkward and not funny at all. And then, I found a list of like, here are the deleted scenes from the movie, a list just piece by piece. And yep, those are the ones that were cut accurately, it turns out. So I guess the lesson here is, if there is an extended version of something that includes all the deleted scenes, often these scenes were deleted for a reason. And maybe there's not, you don't actually need to seek them out.
Like maybe the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
Perhaps that one.
That's supposedly releasing soon. That makes the movie amazing, apparently.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, this is kind of a different situation because it's a director who basically stepped away to take care of a family situation. And another director came in and kind of put his own vision on it. Right? So it's not like it's his movie and the studio made him cut a bunch of stuff.
Right.
It's sort of Joss Whedon's movie that was started by someone else.
Okay.
Anywho, I think they're going to put that on the new HBO Max streaming service, which I'm not going to get.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be nice if it was good. It'd be nice if it turned into something that was interesting. Wherein, Superman's the villain, possibly. But right. I don't expect that to be the case.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right.
Yep.
Fair enough. So anyway, Step Brothers, okay. There is a lot of funny stuff in there. I think what I was most impressed by is, so the conceit of Step Brothers is that there are these two older professional people meet each other, and they decide to get married. And they each have like 39, 40-year-old sons that live at home with them and have never left.
Okay.
So that's Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. And they're both man children. Like, one of them's got a drum set, and the other one spends all of his time just like eating cereal and watching TV and is just really into kung fu. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So they meet, and one of the things that Will Ferrell says is he says, I'm pretty much the best singer in the entire world. And it's very much what a, mentally 10-year-old guy would say to somebody else that he just met in a bragging sense. He's like, I don't sing for just anyone, but I'm one of the best singers in the whole world. So at the end of the movie, he has to get up and do some singing to like save this thing. And he ends up singing an opera song. And I thought they had dubbed it.
Okay.
But they didn't. It's just Will Ferrell like nailing this really famous opera song at the end of the film for like 6 minutes. It's so funny. I was laughing. Because it's just like, again, this man-child, and you just think he's making up the fact that he can sing. A couple times he sings a little bit and he doesn't sound very good, but then he's awesome. Will Ferrell. What's the opera song? I can never remember what it's called because it's Italian and I'm an American.
I can't remember what it's called because it's opera and I've never heard of it. So
yes, you may have heard this song. It's like the most famous. Dang it! Is it Spanish? I'm so American. Oh, he's singing the Spanish version of an Italian song. Anyway, here's what it is. I'm going to try to say it. Porti Voler, which is the Spanish version of Andrea Bocelli's Conte Partiro. I didn't say most of those words correctly, I'm pretty sure.
Better than I care to try.
Yeah, entirely fair.
Okay. Let me have a listen to this.
Yes.
240p. Wow.
I know, right? Like, I think they're trying to avoid getting copyright striked. It's got 4 million views.
It's working.
Yeah. Maybe that's the new hotness is uploading in 240p. And then YouTube can't figure it out.
I've definitely never heard this before.
Oh, all right. I'm just, if they're was an opera song you'd heard before, there's a good chance it would have been this one.
Okay. I'm gonna skip ahead a little, see if it gets interesting.
That's fine.
All right. Why is it when I skip forward, I'm now seeing someone with a bow and arrow pointing at what looks like a naked woman?
I don't actually know.
1 minute 52 seconds. Oh, it's a centaur.
Oh, right. And everybody who hears him singing is like overcome with emotion and starts hallucinating things that are making him look incredible.
Okay. Because it's so low resolution, I couldn't tell who that was in the scene, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you recommend the movie is what I'm hearing.
Nah.
Okay.
Honestly, no. It was okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I like Will Ferrell quite a bit. I think John C. Reilly is an impressive guy. What's funny about John C. Reilly is, and I didn't know this before I listened to the pod, is he's just a serious actor. Like, he's not a comedian, but he's just, I don't know, like, he's such a good actor, he can do funny, but it's not really what he does. And there just aren't many of those people in Hollywood. It's like comedians do comedy, and serious actors do serious stuff. And sometimes comedians do serious stuff, but very rarely do serious people do comedy. It's just a different animal.
Okay.
So that's it. Step Brothers. Don't watch the unrated extended version. It's not worth it.
I watched Guns Akimbo the other night.
Oh, I've heard good things about Guns Akimbo.
It's fun in a very over-the-top, unnecessarily gruesome kind of way with the story and plot and everything makes no goddamn sense.
So what the audience may know about Guns Akimbo is, you know that meme with Daniel Radcliffe holding two guns, wearing a bathrobe and looking crazy? That's what this is.
Yes.
It's a New Zealand action comedy film.
And I mean, it's enjoyable, right? Like, I recommend.
Okay, maybe I'll check it out tonight then.
Sure.
What? Sure, he says. I recommend it. Great, I'll watch it. Yeah, I guess.
Well, it's hard because it's like the story literally is very, very thin, right? The closest you ever come to like a narrative payoff is at one point Daniel Radcliffe's character literally just guesses what he thinks is happening, and then 20 minutes later the movie ends. Right? You don't get a solid concrete, yes, this is why this is happening from the bad guy.
Okay.
But it's fun. You get to see people getting shot a lot, and a homeless man dressed Daniel Radcliffe.
I just asked how long it was.
How long the movie?
Yeah. Oh, 95 minutes. I found it.
Cool. Yeah. It's not a big commitment.
It made $600,000. Hot dang.
What was the budget, I wonder?
Well, we could go to Box Office Mojo, but they were taken over by IMDb and they're garbage now. Guns Akimbo. $800,000. There's no budget listed because they've ruined it. Oh, they didn't hide it behind IMDb Pro, did they?
They might have.
Oh my gosh. Because I just clicked, so I went to Box Office Mojo for the Guns Akimbo. There's a box office link on the right side, but it's under the IMDb Pro section. I'm so upset this happened. There's no budget listed on Wikipedia either. They're hiding it from us, Omicron. They don't want us to know.
They don't want to know how much money they lost.
No. Like, we spent $80 million on this movie.
I mean, they might have.
Could they? Does it look good enough that it was $80 million?
Maybe not.
Okay.
There's lots of effects though, right? And that can take money.
That's true. Daniel Radcliffe could have got paid a lot. He's a big name.
It's true. I hope he got paid a lot for looking like a crazy guy for like 2 years before the movie came out.
I think he wanted this. I think he wanted to avoid being typecast as Harry Potter for the rest of his life.
Sure, yeah. That's fair.
Guarantee he chose this for part of that reason. It's a 2019 movie?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it came out like 3 years ago. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I guess those images came out because it was during filming.
Yeah.
That's great.
The movies came out, the images came out way before the movie did, yeah?
Yeah. Well, it sure didn't help the box office at all.
No. Turns out a lot of hype and interest 2 years before the movie comes out isn't always good.
No, it's bad timing. You want the hype when it's coming out. Also, I don't think it actually released in America.
Really?
Anywhere near it, actually. It's Australia, New Zealand, Russia, Korea, and then Hungary, Iceland, Lithuania, the Netherlands, Portugal, Russia, and Ukraine.
Okay.
What? If the whole point was for Daniel Radcliffe to not be typecast as Harry Potter, it should have been released in the countries where Harry Potter is hugely popular. Like, I don't know, maybe England, for example. Nope.
Right. Well, I feel like that would be more important closer to when Harry Potter finished, right?
I guess.
Which was 9 years ago. This movie came out last year.
True.
And since then, he's actually done stuff, right?
Has he?
Other stuff. Yeah. He's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different things in film. Alone, not including TV.
Since Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. He was in Now You See Me Too.
He was. Did I see that? I have negative feelings about that movie, and I'm not sure if it's because I saw it or not.
I mean, either way, perfectly fine to have those feelings. It is not a good movie.
It might have been I just didn't like the first movie. And so by extension, I don't like the second movie that I didn't see.
Also probably fine.
Entirely possible. So have I seen any of these things? Oh, it was in an episode of BoJack. That counts. BoJack is great.
Sure.
And done. Lost in London. He did a live theater production of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
Sure.
He was in Robot Chicken. He did a couple episodes of The Simpsons in 2018, which means it's Zombie Simpsons. Yeah, nope, didn't see any of these things at all. That's pretty amazing. Like, I don't. Are any of these box office hits at all? Maybe Now You See Me 2 made some money.
Maybe.
Let's not get carried away. Box office.
I have no idea.
I'm behind IMDb Pro. I hate them so much.
Now You See Me Too had a budget of 90 million, and the box office is 334 million.
They did fine.
Yeah, so they made money.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that's it. That is like the great economic success. The rest of it, I don't know, man.
Yeah, a lot of this other stuff I've not even heard of, like Jungle.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this, but it made 1.2 million at the box office.
Yeah. Small, tiny thing.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times with Daniel Radcliffe. I hope he's fine.
I'm sure he's still got that Harry Potter money. He's not, like, hurting.
That's true. It's hard to burn through that. Actually, I had a discussion online the other day about how lottery winners usually end up being bankrupt within like 5 years of winning the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
And how maybe that's because the kind of people that play the lottery aren't very responsible anyway. So that kind of extends to money management.
Yeah.
But then I was wondering, what if you just gave like 100 average people, like average people with jobs, right? They're not rich. They're not living paycheck to paycheck. They have some savings, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just gave them $10 million. How many of them would be bankrupt within 5 years? Is it just the fact that you give someone $10 million and they're like, I have infinite money, and then they buy, tons of stuff and give all their money away to friends and make bad investments, and then it's gone?
It's entirely possible now.
Is it just a human thing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think everyone who ever played the lottery was living paycheck to paycheck and didn't know how to manage money, right? Like,
wait, what?
Well, like, someone in there has to have been a regular person that won money, right?
But was also playing the lottery.
Yeah. Who was playing money, but was also just okay with money. Like, they did that for fun. Right?
True fact. Yep.
got to be in it to win it and all that.
So we need to find those people.
For instance, I don't know how, like, if this guy ended up bankrupt or anything, but there was a guy who won, like, $250,000 on a Scratchy in Australia. So Scratchy is like a little scratch card, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, and the newspaper wanted to, like, do an article. So they took him to the news agency where you would buy these things and asked him to get another one and, like, recreate the moment. And when he did, he won another $10,000.
Incredible.
Yeah.
His luck stat is through the roof.
It turns out, yeah. So I have no idea if he still has the money, and it was quite some time ago. But I assume not everyone ends up bankrupt.
Right. And that's not the stat. The stat is not 100% of people are bankrupt. It's like 70%. Like, it's a significant amount, but not everybody. The problem is, I don't know how we scientifically do this unless we just manage to run across $1 billion we can give away. Yeah.
If anyone wants to give Falcon and I $1 billion and we'll see which one of us ends up bankrupt first, I mean, I think that will be scientific enough. So.
No. We don't know. No. We have to give it away for science. Come on.
I will give it away at shops.
What? Okay, look. We'll include ourselves in the study.
Okay.
So we each get 10 million, but also another 100 people get $10 million.
Okay.
I think the math adds up to $1 billion there.
Do you know how to create fake IDs?
Do I know how to create a fake ID?
Yes, because I will give that person $10 million.
Did you just take your $10 million and stop being greedy? Honestly, Somicron.
Look,
it's like, here's $10 million. You're like, how can I get more?
Well, if $10 million is what I win, and there's an 80% chance that I'm going to go bankrupt, I'm going to need another $10 million. I'm just planning ahead.
No, but the amount doesn't matter. These are people. Whoa, these are people who have won like $100 million.
Right. And I want to beat the odds.
You think the more money you have, the less likely it is that you become bankrupt? I guess that's fair.
Well, theoretically, yes.
Yes.
Right? Like, if you just had enough, you wouldn't ever. But, no, okay, fine. I will take my measly 10 million.
God, good heavens. Learned a lot about you today.
That I don't like to work? Yeah, go figure.
Look, man. No, 10 million means you never work again for the rest of your life, dude.
That is absolutely not true.
What are you buying?
Like,
buying,
okay,
like,
let's
10
say
homes and like 4 Learjets. What is wrong with you?
No, you can't get that much with 10 million. Buying property in Sydney is you pay over $1 million for like a 2-bedroom house, right? 10 million does not last very long here, fella.
Okay, fine. If you're buying real estate in Sydney, you can burn through it pretty fast. But what about fun stuff? Buying real estate in Sydney is boring.
Well, I'm sorry, I need somewhere to live. I would also go and buy a Confederate Hellcat, which is like, they made 10 of them, and they're like $500,000 motorbikes. That's fun. There you go.
Yeah. You know how many 5,000 motorbikes you could buy with $10 million?
20.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Less after I buy a house, and then I still need money to live.
Yeah. Right? So what are we down? What are we down here?
We're down to like, let's say 8 million, right? Because I want a nice house. And I have a nice bike. I'm down to 8 million. I'm 20 something. Yes. I need to make that 8 million last the next, let's be generous and say 60 years. Right? That's not a lot of money.
Say that again?
If I want to live for the next 60 years, and I only have $8 million, that gives me $130,000 to spend each year to live. And that's insurance, bills, food, investment, because like I put money into the podcast and things to make sure the website runs.
Okay, that's just if you put it in a box and pull money out every year. But if you invest it...
And I could invest poorly. I could lose some.
Suppose you could.
Like I said, 10 million doesn't last you a lifetime, right?
It sure does.
It sure could, but let's be real. I've got friends and family who, if they found out that I won 10 million, I guarantee you are going to be like, hey, come buy me something. And I'll be like, sure, let's go to the movies. You can buy the popcorn. That's more expensive.
Well, so here's part of the thing, too, is that you don't have housing costs anymore. If you buy a house in Sydney, you're not paying mortgage or rent. You're done. So what you
True.
need every year is significantly reduced.
True. Yeah.
Okay.
Theoretically, it could, but let's say I buy a house, a motorbike, and then I decide I want to go on a holiday, and now I'm buying plane tickets, and I'm staying in hotels, right?
Right.
That suddenly takes a giant chunk out of it as well, especially because when you're working, you're not spending money because you're earning it. When you're not working, you're just spending money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people on their days off spend more money on the days that they work than spend more on their days off than the days that they work, right?
True fact.
Mm-hmm. And so if you never work, I assume I would just be blowing money all over the place.
Yes. Well, and two, going back to family, that is a big thing, especially with professional athletes, is they'll get their first big paycheck. And then suddenly every cousin they've ever had is like, hey, need help with the rent this month. And just multiply it by like 50 people. Yeah. And suddenly it's gone. Which is why places that allow you to accept lottery winnings anonymously are great. Because then no one has to know. And then suddenly Samicron just moves to Sydney and never talks to anyone ever again.
I mean, I already live in Sydney. Well, not the city, but okay, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Also, I assume I have to pay tax on this 10 million?
Probably. It's a good point.
Yeah. So now I'm like, let's say that's 30%. I'm down to 7 million to start with, 2 million for the house and the motorbike.
Well, in the lottery situation, yes. But in the situation of the science experiment, I think we could get it classified as a gift, which in American tax law doesn't get taxed.
I don't know how it would work here.
All right.
It depends on whether or not it went into my bank account from somewhere, being like, what was the people doing giving you 10 million? That looks like salary for something. Or if I got it in cash and I could just like slowly spend it. It's hard to buy a house in cash though. Like physical paper. Like, here's a duffel bag.
Briefcase. Yeah. You can't put millions of dollars in a duffel bag. It's not professional.
You said anything about being professional.
I've seen movies.
Okay.
Fair enough. What you're saying is probably if we gave people $10 million, based on the numbers we just calculated, most of them would probably be bankrupt if they didn't keep working.
Probably, yeah.
All right. Now we don't have to do the science experiment. Good job, Samicron. You ruined it.
Damn, my science is too hard.
Ruined your chance to get $10 million.
Yeah.
So anyway, thought that was interesting to think about.
So, speaking of spending money, I have a story to tell.
Ooh, okay.
The other day, I got Uber Eats for dinner. I was like, and the person delivers, gives me my food, and then walks away. I go inside, I start eating, and then I hear the doorbell ring again. I come back, and the delivery driver is standing there with an older woman, who I assume was like her mother, like was just like hanging out in the car.
What is happening?
And they don't speak very good English.
Okay. What are they speaking?
And they start English, but not very good. They're just like, you have plant over there. I would like, and I'm like, what's going on? And the plant is not mine, right? It's my housemate's because she owns the place.
They want your plant?
And they're like, here, we give you money. And they gave me $20 and here, have this food as well. And I don't know what.
Was it like somebody else's order?
No, food they made.
Oh, what the heck?
Like, I go to Uber for people to bring me food, but not the food they make. And I took a photo of it, so let me send that to you, because the food's long gone. So if anyone knows what this food is, I'll be very interested to know, because what they wanted was to take leaves from the plant to make more of this stuff, because that's what they wanted. They wanted leaves, like you can see in the photo.
It's like a tamale. It's like Mexican.
Sure, maybe. And so I'm like, oh, okay, you want to take a couple leaves, that's fine. And I go back inside to get like my shoes and stuff, and while I'm there, I eat more of my food because I'm hungry. And then I come back out 5 minutes later, and I'm like, I can hear the sound of a shovel.
That's not good.
And I come out, and it's not a big shovel. It's like a hand trowel or something.
Yeah.
and they're digging up part of this plant, and like the other lady's got secateurs, and she's like cutting off entire leaf stems, and I'm like, oh god, what have I done? I have sold something that is not mine for food I will not eat. And nobody's noticed yet that half this plant is missing in the front yard. But yeah, that happened.
That's what I was going to go with. There's no way that anybody would ever notice. So, yeah. So, like, tamales are, like, meat and corn and stuff wrapped in corn husks.
Okay.
Let me send you an image.
That is not a corn leaf.
It's not. It's not. But it looks like the same concept, right?
Kind of. Yeah, except these were
Green.
that kind of, like, mushy banana. Like, you can see how it looks, right? Like, it had the texture of mushy banana, but it's that all the way through.
Okay. Is it banana?
No, I wasn't going to try it.
Banana leaves are used to wrap a lot of different types of food around the world.
It's not a banana leaf.
Okay. That's crazy. So what I like about the story, though, is that they're just driving around delivering Uber Eats to people or whatever it is. And they happen to see a plant that they have a use for. So they have money, which makes sense. You're probably carrying around cash. But they also have homemade food in the car that they're offering to trade for this plant.
Because they dug up some of them, I assume they went and replanted them so they can grow their own. But I assume they just gave me their lunch.
Oh.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. They just had that. They were going to take a break in a couple hours, and now they don't have that anymore.
Yeah. They gave me $20, their lunch, and took some plants and leaves. It's so weird.
You should have just let them have the whole plant. There's no way anybody would ever notice. You live with dudes.
No, I live with dude and woman.
That's true. She might notice.
And it's her plant.
She
dude
really
would not
might
notice. But woman is the one that does all the gardening.
Never mind. My plan is bad.
Yes.
I retract my plan.
So I'm basically like waiting for the next time she mows the lawns to be like, WTF happened here, mate?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, really, the only move here is to be like, huh?
I don't know what happened.
And like, she can't expect you to pay attention to the plants out front. Come on.
It's true.
No.
Oh, God.
Oh, what if you're the one to notice it, though? What if you're like, hey.
No.
I was coming in from work today and I just noticed. Look at this. Is that suspicious?
That would be suspicious because how would I have known it was different?
Well, maybe you were feeling extra observant that day.
Right, but if I've never paid attention to it before, how would I know something's changed if I'm extra observant now?
Well, who says you've never paid any attention to it before? Maybe you've noticed it before.
I didn't know that plant was there until they tried to buy it off me.
Well, they don't. I mean, she doesn't know that.
It's true, but I suppose it's technically true.
I mean, look, I'm just saying, if you come in the house one day and you're just casually, offhandedly like, hey, it looks like some of the leaves are missing off that plant out front, and then just like keep walking. That's all it takes.
Yeah, I think bringing it up just draws attention to myself.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Ignore and deny. That's the plan.
That is the plan. If they ask, they can have the $20.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yep.
Only seems fair.
Only seems fair.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
You know where they were from? You couldn't tell?
I think they were Koreans. Did you?
Oh,
buy?
Okay.
Yep.
So you looked at like Korean food dishes that use
No.
leaves for wraps?
No.
Oh, it auto-completes Korean leaf wrap. But it's like cabbages that they use over there. It's not that kind of leaves.
Well, like I said, I think they were speaking Korean to each other. Like,
you have some experience with Koreans, Omicron.
Yes, that is why I think it might be that. But I have no experience with Korean culinary dishes.
Yeah. Yeah, all of these are coming back like cabbage style. It's not at all what we're talking about here. Cool. Well, we'll figure it out. Somebody in the podcast scene will know.
Someone will know what that is.
Somebody will know. All right, cool. I think we're out of time.
I think we are.
We are. Well, excellent. Thanks for hanging out with us this week on another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour with Somicron and Falcon Paladin. As always, feel free to email us with any feedback you have. You know our email addresses. Hit us up on Discord or Twitter or whatever as well. Check out the store for merch. And also, as always, there is the Patreon page if you like to supporting the podcast directly. And until next time, as always, especially during this time of uncertainty and instability in so many different places, take care of yourself.